All right, I'm going to look at the metals today. I'm going to focus on silver. A couple of things. I think most people logically understand that the way to make money in markets is to buy low and sell high. Unfortunately, most people do the exact opposite. They buy high and then they sell low. It's because most people are controlled by their emotions. So when a market is in decline, like the metals are right now, you should be getting more and more bullish. You're getting a buying opportunity, assuming that we're in a bull market, and we are in a bull market for commodities, and that includes metals. So now, if you're in a bear market, then buying low could mean that that the market still has much further to go. I don't think we're in a bear market for commodities. All right, here's the DBC is an ETF that tracks the CRB. You can see, and I've gone over this in some of my previous videos, this was a multi-year cycle low, a 3-year cycle low in the commodities. Oil went minus. That's the bell ringing that the commodity bear market is over. The bear market started here with that parabolic move in oil back in 2008, and we've been in a bear market ever since in commodities. That's ended. We're now in a bull market. We've made higher highs. This was the high of this 3-year cycle low. We've gone above that. We're threatening to test or even break out above this high here, which was the high of this 3-year cycle. So there's no doubt in my mind, anyway, that the commodities are in a cyclical and probably a secular bull market. If we're in a secular bull market, then they tend to run 5 to 8 years, and we're only a couple years into this. Stocks, on the other hand, they may be moving into a bear market. So I was kind of looking for a more convincing blow off top. But I think what happened was the price of oil just went too high too quick. And commodities across the board just went too high too quick. And it has probably damaged the economy, the global economy. And I've gone over this before as well, that whenever the price of oil rises 100% or more in a year or less, it almost always results in a recession. I think that's probably what happened. The price of oil just went, semi-parabolic here, and I think it damaged the economy. And so I think any potential blow-off bubble top probably got short-circuited by that massive move in oil. And I'm not even sure it's done yet, which is just going to make this recession even worse. But it looks to me where stocks are either starting a cyclical or secular bear market, or they're going to be stuck going sideways for a long time while commodities continue to go up. So let's go back to gold and silver. All right, so this is the gold chart. I think I've discussed this in some of my previous videos. This is the intermediate uptrend line. This almost always has to get broken before you can have a final intermediate cycle low. So I think we've probably got at least 1 or 2 more weeks still before this intermediate decline is over. But now is when you need to start getting bullish. Now is not when you want to get frustrated because the market didn't go up, as high as you wanted it to. We came up here, we tested this top. We had a major attack to push gold immediately back down below 2,000 the very next day, and then gold was blocked at 2,000 on this rally, and the cartel just regained control of the metals, and they started an intermediate decline. But that doesn't mean that they're going to be able to control the gold and silver indefinitely. They've just postponed the move, and they probably made the move more aggressive once it really takes off. We saw that coming out of the baby bull here. The suppression of the metals for several years just triggered a massive move. coming out of that bottom. Kind of the same thing right here. This was clearly a manufactured move, and you can see what happened. There was a massive reaction to that. We're getting the same thing here. I think we're just getting suppression of the metals, but I don't think it's going to last too terribly much longer. But I do think we've got to break this trend line. And so when everybody is becoming really negative, that's when you want to start getting bullish. They are getting negative right now, so I'm starting to get bullish. I'm watching the COT reports. They're improving considerably for gold and silver here. They're not really where I would like to see for a final bottom, but they are improving, and I'm starting to see a lot of people getting bearish. They're giving up on the metals, or they're getting very frustrated because we came close to a breakout here, and then we got the rally got stopped right at 2,000. So they're getting pretty frustrated. And when we break this trend line, they're going to be very frustrated. Let me convert this to the daily. So, okay, so here's this trend line. Here's the 200-day moving average. This is probably going to turn out to be some kind of a little bear flag. You can see the cartel attacked gold again here to stop it from getting above 1900 again here. So, I doubt that we're done just yet. We probably got to break down out of this bear flag, come down, break below this, close below it, and get everybody negative, and then that's when we're going to get our bottom. So the vast majority of traders, retail traders especially, a lot of hedge funds, they're going to get very negative as this intermediate decline progresses. I am going to be getting more and more bullish. I'm going to try to inspire my subscribers to start getting more and more bullish. We don't need to buy just yet, but you want to get prepared. And then once we break this trend line, then I'm going to start looking for some signs that we've got a bottom, and that it'll be time to start buying again. So going back to the weekly charts, we're not quite oversold on the 5-week RSI. I think I'd like to see that get oversold before I try and pick a bottom. We're not, we're getting close to oversold on the faster moving average on the stochastics, but the slower moving average is still, probably has a ways to go yet. So I'd say, at least another week, maybe 2, maybe even 3. But you need to start getting, more and more bullish here as this goes down. So I know it's really tough to fight emotions, but that's what makes a successful investor. All right, so back to silver. And let me widen this chart a touch. All right, so we've had a consolidation box here. We had a temporary false breakdown during the panic in 2020. We rebounded violently out of that and got a really nice move higher. And then now we've been stuck in this sideways consolidation that's just creating massive frustration in the gold bugs, and especially anybody that's bullish for silver. And this is building the fuel for a really big move. I was kind of hoping for at least a test of 30. We came pretty close. We almost got to 28, so we missed it by a couple dollars when that attack on gold began. But that doesn't alter anything. It's just building more and more frustration, which is the fuel for a really big move when it comes. So I'll widen the chart just a little bit more. It's not unusual to get a false move in silver before the really big monster move occurs. So you can see it right here. We had a pretty scary sell-off, came down and tested this 200-week moving average, rebounded, consolidated a little bit more to frustrate people just a little bit more, and then we break out and get this massive move. Probably same thing's going to happen here. I would guess we'll probably come down, test this lower part of this consolidation box. All right, here we go. Maybe test the lower part of this consolidation box, and I wouldn't put it past the cartel to give us a false breakdown like it did right here. And then that will set the stage for all of the fuel that's been built up during this frustration phase to be unleashed. And that will give us, the move to test $30 and probably break out of this consolidation box to the upside and go to 50, and then at some point far beyond that. So I'm going to urge people again, now is not the time to listen or be governed by your emotions. Now is the time to think logically. And anybody can look at this chart and see that buying low when things are oversold is how you make money, and then selling high. We are getting, into oversold territory. Again, we may have a little bit further to go, but this is when you want to start getting bullish and start looking to buy. And then when things get overbought and sentiment gets extremely bullish, that's when you want to sell. So very tough for most people to fight their emotions and do the opposite of what their emotions are telling them. But this is what I try to teach people to do. This is what I'm trying to keep my subscribers bullish, because we're going to get the next opportunity here very soon in the metals. We just probably need another week or two down in gold and silver. We need to break that trend line in gold and get just a little bit more oversold, I think, before we're ready to go back to the upside. I need to see a little bit more negativity, a little bit more, a few more people, more gold bugs give up and swear off ever buying metals again. And then I think we will be set up for this intermediate cycle to bottom, and then to turn and go back up. And I think there's a good chance that this next intermediate cycle will not disappoint us like this one did and come up a little short. I think it'll at least go to 30. And if it can get there fast, early during the intermediate cycle, then we could get a breakout and head towards 50.